Hello, wonderful beings. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, a place where the right message reaches you. My name is Anisha, and I help people to live a more authentic and fulfilling life. So, this is a little bit about me, and I would love to know about you. So, feel free to drop in a hi in the comments and maybe share which part of the world you are joining us from. And like what is the time there. And until you guys do that, let me give you a quick overview of what we do here in these lives. So we usually start these lives with a meditation, which is around 30 minutes. And the meditation that we start with is based upon the quote that you see on Insight Timer, the homepage. So we really soak in the wisdom from that quote. And then once we are feeling more centered, more grounded, we move to phase two of this life where we spin the wheel of wisdom and let the universe, source, divine to choose a book for us. And once we have a book, what we do next is we play a game together where I ask you guys to pick a number and then I do readings based on that. So we go through like 2 to 3 books in each live. And yeah, that's it. That's what the whole thing looks like. I will share more details when we get to each part. But for right now, I would love to know that are you guys ready for the meditation, for the initial meditation? If you are, you can type ready in the comments to let me know. Um, so yeah, we can begin. Thank you, Kayla, and welcome. Welcome to this live. So let me also quickly drop in a message in the comments for those who will join us during the live, while we are meditating, so they know what is going on. Okay, done. Hmm. So begin by coming into a comfortable position. You can choose to sit, stand, or lie down. Whatever your body needs right now. As you settle in this posture, allow your eyes to gently close, or alternatively, you can choose to keep them open but lower your gaze. This helps us move our attention away from the universe, away from the world outside of you, to arriving within. Noticing how your body is being supported by the surface beneath you. Today's meditation is based upon a quote by Sylvia Boorstein. She says, "May I meet this moment fully. May I meet this as a friend. Again, may I meet this moment fully. May I meet this as a friend." So, to begin this practice, gently rest your attention on your breath, noticing the air moving in and out exactly as it is. Noticing the natural rhythm of your breath, you don't need to change your breath in any manner. Simply notice how each inhale is the arrival of this moment, and you can even acknowledge this moment by saying with the inhale that this moment is here. This moment is here. So breathing in, noticing what's here, and breathing out, meeting it with your out breath. Breathing in, noticing what's here, and as you breathe out, meeting it with your breath. As you breathe in, opening your yourself to this moment. And as you breathe out, gently touching it with each exhale. Imagine offering this moment a gentle quality like care, kindness, or ease. As if, as if you are saying, you are welcome here, my dear friend. You are welcome here, my friend. So continue to breathe in this manner, inhaling and letting the present moment in, as if you are opening a door for it to arrive. And exhaling and meeting whatever arises with kindness. Meeting it fully with your loving presence. Let everything be a part of this present moment, whether it is something outside of you, like a sound or smell, or anything else that your senses are receiving, or whether it is something within you situation or thoughts. Nothing needs to leave for you to be present in this moment. Just as you might sit with a friend without needing to change them, you can similarly stay with whatever arises in this moment. If you find it helpful, you can also repeat these phrases with your breath. So, breathing in, this is what's here now. Breathing out, and I can befriend it. This is what's here now, and I can befriend it. And now notice how this changes your body. Notice if your shoulders have softened since the start of this practice. Perhaps some tension within your body has melted away because you no longer need to fight this moment. Maybe you are feeling more grounded, or perhaps you can breathe more easily. So simply noticing the impact of this practice on your inner world. This practice was not about liking the moment, it was about meeting it gently without running away from it. So now, as we reach the end of this practice, allow yourself to take one last breath in, letting this moment fully in, and with the out breath, extending love to this moment. Now, allow yourself to return back, come back to your body, knowing that whatever arises in your day, you can meet it. You can meet it as a friend. So, with this knowing, gently begin to wake up your body by wiggling your toes and your fingers, moving your body in whatever direction it wants to be moved. And in your own time, gently open your eyes, or if you need more rest, then you can allow yourself to drift into a peaceful and relaxing sleep. Welcome back, dear one. I see that a lot of new people have joined us while we were meditating. So, a warm welcome to you all. And in case you guys missed the meditation, I will share towards the end of this live where you can go through this meditation again or watch this recording. But for now, I invite those of you who did meditated with us to share your experience of the practice if you feel called to do that. And if not, if you don't feel like typing yet, that's perfectly all right. And in a moment, I am going to read the comments and then move on to phase two of this live, where we will spin the wheel of wisdom and let the universe choose a book for us to receive the divine guidance, to receive the wisdom that we need to hear most right now. So, yeah, let me go through these messages. And those of you who are new here, I invite you to, you know, follow me or to simply check out my profile because I have a lot of meditations, both free and premium, a lot of free. So if you want more of these kind of meditations, you can check them out there. Okay, hello Sebi. And if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, feel free to correct me. But Sebi says, very relaxing, thank you. I'm glad, Sebi, that you feel that way. Thank you for being here and meditating with all of us. Happy to have you. Kayla says, I love how you said this practice isn't about liking the moment, but rather meeting it and accepting it. Exactly, because sometimes what is a part of our present moment is not so pleasant, carries a lot of, pain or suffering, and it feels like a far fetched idea if we say just love everything that is happening, because, that might not be a reality. So I'm glad that, um, the that particular instruction resonated with you, Kayla. And in case, if you or anyone else is looking for more guidance on how to accept the moment, how to accept whatever is happening in your life, and then move on from it after you process it, then I want to share a resource for you guys which you can save, and I hope that this will help you accept, process, and then move on. Kathleen says that was so peaceful and I felt so present cuddling with my furry dog Max, who was snoring with his wet nose on my arms under blankets. It was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Kathleen, for that lovely, image in front of our minds. It just made my heart so happy as well to, read about it. And I'm sure it might have made other people happy as well who listened to it or read it. Um, so yeah, thank you. I'm happy that it was peaceful. Okay, so now, dear ones, let me move on to phase two of this live and show you guys our wheel of wisdom. So, this is our wheel of wisdom. And for those of you who are new here, this wheel contains the name of 51 transformational books that I have came across in my own journey of healing and personal growth. And what we're going to do now is I invite you right now to take a moment and bring to your mind anything that you need guidance on. It can be a specific issue, a specific desire, or something in between. And if nothing specific comes to your mind, then simply hold this beautiful wish in your mind that may everyone present in the space listening to this receives the message that is for their highest good. And now holding either that specific thing or that beautiful intention in your awareness as we spin the wheel. Okay, so the book that came for all of us is A Tree in a Forest by Ajahan Chah. So let's see what this beautiful book wants to offer us. And this book is like a collection of all the teachings of this famous spiritual teacher. So this is like the, you know, book. And now let me give me a second to choose some numbers so that we can play a game together. Okay. So this book contains like similes. So we get to learn, from that. And I really love like metaphors and everything. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome. So nice to see you here. You're just in time for our first reading. So, my dear ones, I invite you to, or maybe in a moment, I'm going to invite you guys to choose a number between two numbers, okay? And I do not want you guys to rush. Instead, take your time, pick a number that comes first to you, share that in the comments. I will go through all your comments and pick a number that my intuition is feeling called to. Okay? So I invite you guys to pick a number between 18 to 112. Kathleen says, Hi Jennifer, I thought of you this morning when I woke up early and saw the silver moon. Wow, and the pink sky from the sunrise rising. Wow. Kathleen, you are really painting and like so many beautiful images in our mind. You're becoming a source of peace for all of us, I'm sure. So thank you, Kathleen, for sharing that. Okay, so we have Dina. Thank you, Dina. Carol. Um, yeah, I took a pause because I was like, did I pronounce your name right, Dina? Or feel free to correct me if I pronounce anyone's name wrong, okay? Yeah, thank you, Kayla. Oh, okay. Okay, both of these people say chooses the same number. Interesting. Thank you, Lauren, Nicole, Kim. So now we have two numbers that are same, and I usually go with, when the two same numbers come to two people. because I feel like that is like a hint from the universe that pick that number. And Nicole's number is also pretty close, so maybe the paragraph might go to that page. So yeah, let us go with Dina, Kayla, and Nicole's number, which is kind of like 88. Thank you, Sebi, for sharing a number. Maybe for the next reading, we can choose, the next number from any of you guys whose number I didn't pick. So yeah, we are going to do this with another book. Jennifer says, "Oh, that is so sweet. I do love seeing the sunrise with the moon in her full glory. Heading out for the walk now. Beautiful. Okay, so let me open this page. So the simile is, oh, Kim says that was the first number I thought of too, 88. Okay, then definitely something beautiful will come through this page. And by the way, the reading is going to the next page too, Nicole. So we are also, you know, um, considering your number. Okay. So the heading for this is hen or rooster. Okay, remember this is a simile. So the author says teaching people with different level of understanding is very difficult. Some people have certain set ideas. You tell them the truth and they say it's not true. They think I'm right, you are wrong. There is no end to this. If you don't let go, there will be suffering. It's like the four men who go into the forest and hear a rooster crowing. Again, it's like the four men who go into the forest and hear a rooster crowing. One of them wonders if it is a rooster or a hen. Three of them decide it's a hen, but the curious one insists it's a rooster. How could a hen crow like that? He asked. They answer, well, it has a mouth, doesn't it? They argue and get really upset, but in the end, they are all wrong. Whether you say a hen or a rooster, they are only names. We say a rooster is like this, a hen is like this, a rooster cries like this, a hen cries like that. This is how we get stuck in the world. Actually, if you just say that there is really no hen and no rooster, then that's the end of it. So now I invite you, everyone, not just the people whose number I chose, to take a moment to reflect as to what is the simile or the story wants to convey to you. What is coming up for you? Hello, Karen. Hi, dear. So happy to have you here. So, for me, what came up from this paragraph was to drop the labels, meaning, especially since we, meditated about meeting the moment, right? So, what I'm feeling called to do is that to drop the labels completely. For example, right now, you might be hearing different types of sounds in your surroundings. And the invitation is to forget which object is making that sound, Forget that you know the name of it and really just open yourself to it fully, like the raw experience of that sound, like the loudness of it, the pitch of it, the closeness or the farness of each sound. So, like, really dropping all those boundaries, all these labels, because sometimes that's what causes division. And to drop them, to open yourself up and just experience what is as it is without attaching anything to it. Kind of like, what you do when you are a baby, when you're exploring things, you give them a, interesting, curious object or just any object, just a plain object. And they are like exploring it in different ways. They put it in their mouth, they taste it, they listen to it, they they do different kind of things. They explore it from different angles. So, like that, dropping every label and being curious about what is here in this moment. Um, yeah, and with people also. So, another thing that is coming up for me from this is to drop the labels around situation, like whether this is good or bad, right? So, dropping that label and just meeting whatever is happening as it is without adding our own stories, adding our own judgments and labels of good or bad, and just seeing how that is and meeting it right now. And maybe the situation that you consider, like such a bad situation might turn out to be a blessing or vice versa. And the third thing was about people, dropping the labels around people. Like, instead of labeling them this person as crazy, irresponsible, all these labels, drop those labels, meet the person as it is in this moment, as if you're meeting them for the first time. Bring that, beginner's mind, that first time perspective to it, and see if something is different when you drop all these things that you assume about them and meet them as it is. Because even if you think a person is irresponsible, for example, that person has not been irresponsible at every single thing that they have done. So that label do not really fit in with that person, or they haven't been responsible in every area or with every other person. So this might, lead to some insights. So yeah, you can pick up any of the practices that came up or create your own or share whatever is coming up for you. Okay, we have few messages. So Kim says what this, reading brought up for Kim was the teaching of non-duality. Love that. A single word that kind of, yeah, very appropriately summarized it. Jennifer says, I've never been fond of labels. They often feel restrictive, more confining than clarifying. Oh, I love that. Oh, Jennifer. That was so beautiful. Yeah, they are more confining than clarifying. As a teacher, one of the greatest challenges was helping people loosen their grip on what they thought they already knew. Yeah, kind of like, that famous story about that we cannot pour into an already filled cup. So we need to open it, we need to create space for more to arise, we need to open up for more. Unlearning can be harder than learning because certainty builds comfortable walls. Exactly, our mind loves certainty because it feels safe. No matter if that certainty is not serving us, still our mind is going to prefer that. So, yes, teaching gave me something far more valuable than answers. It gave me patience, compassion, and a deeper understanding of human complexity. Labels categorize, understanding connects, and connection, far more than classification, is what actually helps us grow. Jennifer, yeah, I think in the last live, we talked about you doing like having this intention to do more creative work and writing and poetry and everything. I can clearly see you just are so good at like writing stuff. This whole paragraph is like just gold. So I hope that, that practice of yours is going well. And wow, the insights that you have shared from this is just it's just wow. So yeah, thank you for sharing these pearls of wisdom. Yeah, exactly right, Karen. Karen says so beautifully said. Wow, wow, Jennifer. Amazing. Okay, so now, my dear ones, it's time for us to move on to reading two, to book two for this live. You're welcome, Jennifer. Okay, so again, bring to your mind anything that you need guidance on. And as you hold that in your awareness, let us spin. Okay, so the book that came for all of us is Change Your Life in 7 Days by Paul McKenna. So give me a second to open the book and, choose some numbers for us. And until I do that, if you guys have found anything of value in from this live up until now, and you feel like supporting my work, then you can do so by making a small donation, by making a small contribution, so that I can do more of this. Okay. So for this book, we are not going to do the numbers thing because I do not have the original book that I read because I've read these books over the past 10 years. So, what we are going to do for this book is I actually have my notes from this book. So, I actually made like notes of the powerful insights or the transformative practices from these books. So, what I'm going to do now is I am going to close my eyes, scroll through these notes until I feel like this is the section that everyone here needs to hear from. Okay. And as I do so, you can hold whatever it is that you need guidance on in your mind. So may everyone present here receives clarity from this reading and a reminder of what they need to remember right now. Okay, that was quick. Okay, yeah. So the heading for this is Who are you really? Are you really? The author says if you truly believe you are unattractive, you will unconsciously sabotage any attempts to make yourself appear attractive because you won't represent yourself at your best, and people will inevitably find you unattractive, and the prophecy is fulfilled. So there's this phenomena known as self-fulfilling prophecy, meaning the prophecy or the beliefs that you hold about yourself, they tend to fulfill themselves, meaning they tend to become true because the beliefs that you hold about yourself determine the kind of thought that you get in a particular situation. The thoughts that you have determine the way you feel and the way you behave in a particular situation. And the way you behave end up determining the result that you get in that situation. And if it has been influenced by a limiting belief, then this whole thing would have been negative, like negative thoughts, unpleasant emotions, unhelpful behaviors. And when you behaved in that unhelpful manner, you didn't got the desired result. And hence that reinforces your initial belief, your prophecy. And this is how this whole cycle, moves. And that thing that you believe turn out to be true, and it gets stronger and stronger, and you have much more evidence now for your limiting beliefs, like I'm not good enough, like I'm unlovable, like I'm not worthy, I don't deserve good things, and so on. So, this is the whole cycle, and there are ways you can break this cycle, but you need to put more conscious effort into that. And before doing even that, you first need to become aware of these beliefs that are running your life, that are leading to the results that you are getting in your life. So, if you are new to me, then I do want to share a resource for you because I see a lot of new faces today, so that you can first learn to identify those beliefs that have been hidden in your subconscious mind but that have been running your life from the backstage. So, if you don't know what they are, if you feel like there's this resistance, you have a goal, but you are not able to take actions to move towards that, then there are chances that there are hidden beliefs that are stopping you from doing that. So, you can uncover them using all the techniques that I know of that I've shared in this course. And I also have shared this whole thing around self fulfilling prophecy, like how are your beliefs exactly, controlling your life. And I've done that with examples. So I hope that this would bring awareness as to what those beliefs are so that the next time that they come, you can easily spot them and not let them take control, because as soon as you become aware of them, now you can see them clearly. Like, this is my belief acting up, and this is me. And I do not need to identify with that belief. So, this distance comes up, and with that comes the freedom to choose differently. So, yeah, and I am soon going to release like another course within like 2-3 months around the five most common beliefs that most people have according to certain therapeutic approaches, which, so like what they are and how you can overcome them. I've also mentioned them in this course, but how to overcome them, I haven't, went on to that in detail in this course because it usually takes a lot of time to identify your beliefs because you don't do it in isolation. You do it when you're going through your life, when you face situations. So you will have the time to uncover everything and then you can work on them. So, yeah, I hope that this might have given you the clarity as to why certain situations in your life keep on repeating, or why you keep on doing the same things. You're not able to get out of certain unhelpful patterns and all of that. Yeah, that is my favorite quote by Dr. Wayne Dyer. So Kathleen says, if you believe it, you can achieve it. Whether you think you can or you can't, you are right. Exactly. Exactly. It's all about what your version of reality is, and then you make it possible. A lovely, lovely phrase to, summarize this reading that came up. Ah, okay, let's see. Prasanna says, we usually idealize and crave for what we do not have and feel and fill a void. No necessarily, not necessarily that those who actually have it are happier. May Maybe that is the root of our erroneous beliefs with what we spend an unfulfilling lifetime. Yeah, that is. Thank you, Prasanna, for sharing that. Um, and yeah, that is so true that we keep on running after something, thinking that our future contains what we do not have right now, that somehow we want this moment to be different than what it is. And when we do that, we keep on running and striving and doing that. And we, you know, don't realize the importance of what we already have and the reality of what we want. That does, like, does it really, would that make me happy? Would it bring that level of fulfillment that I'm seeking? And if you really reflect on your life, you would realize that it is not true. Um, and I also have like a course on this, a very, very mini course that I created to help you shift your mindset and, more importantly, learn, like reflect on this, that whether this is true for your life or not. And then if it turns out it is not, then you can let go of it. And I'm planning to actually update this course maybe a few months from now, and I'm going to add like very valuable resources as to how you can, like, the practical steps to move out of this thinking. But yeah, for now also this course has been loved by people, so you can check it out. Hello, Nicole. Hi. Nicole, guys, Nicole is another wonderful teacher on Inside Timer, and so is Caitlin and anyone else. And I think Kim is also here. So, yeah, if you don't know these beautiful, amazing teachers and human beings, I would invite you to check them out. Yeah, I love dropping in Nicole's live, listening to Caitlin's affirmations, and I'm looking forward to check out, Kim's track as well. So, so yeah, Nicole says just popping in to send some love. Heading to chiropractor's appointment. Oh, Nicole, I hope like everything is all right, or I'm just sending you some healing, and may your body receives whatever it needs from this appointment, and may you feel relaxed, and may there be some ease in your body after that. Nicole says gratitude, love. You are an amazing teacher too. Thank you. That is so sweet. Um, okay, Jennifer says, I am at a place in life where I am practicing trust, not assuming I know better than the bigger unfolding. Love that. And it like beautifully relates to the first reading, and what came up for me from that was to drop the labels of good and bad and to meet the situation as it is, because we never know about the bigger unfolding, about how it might, you know, even become a very big deal in our life, both positively, both negatively. So, yeah, trust is something that can help us keep going in the toughest of situations. Um, and Jennifer says, instead of pushing what I want onto the universe, I'm staying open to what seems meant for me and learning to receive it with awareness rather than force. Any thoughts? I think, Jennifer, you are doing wonderful. It is such a practice to really surrender, to be curious, and to be open to receiving whatever the universe is sending our way, to receive with an open heart rather than resisting it at some level, and to meet it with awareness, whether it is something pleasant or unpleasant, because our awareness has such a power to transform it, to turn, I think, to turn lead into gold, that alchemy thing. So, yeah, you're doing wonderful, Jennifer. My thoughts are wow. I don't know, for some reason, the word wow keep on coming up for me when I read your comments. And I agree with Nicole, always dropping nuggets. It seems like you are on the right path, Jennifer. And thank you for sharing your path with others so that if they feel called, they can also incorporate this into their life. Ah. Patrick says that is so true. I use the analogy of a garden. I can say I'm planting seeds of self kindness, even mannered, and other positive qualities. But if I'm really planting the negative aspects, the positive qualities will not grow. The negatives are what will grow. But if I really sow seeds of the good and the positive qualities, then those are what I will reap. So for me, I continue to choose to sow those positive qualities. That way, I will reap those positive benefits. Therefore, the results will be more rewarding, not only to me, but to those around me. Ah, I love the statement when you said that I continue to choose to sow those positive qualities. And that's all we can do to choose you know, to choose what's helpful, to choose what we want, and to make our effort from our side, whatever it is that we can, and then to trust that the, you know, the seeds will grow and bear fruits in our life. And it is going to be delicious and yummy for us and for others, maybe others who we choose to share them with, or who just see them and just feel happy to see a plant grow, to see some positive qualities in this world. So, yeah. Thank you, Patrick, for sharing what you're working on. That is lovely. Chris says, hello, Anisha and everyone from South Carolina. Hi, Chris. Welcome back here again. Happy to have you. You are just in time for our last reading for today. So I hope that you receive something of value from this live. Kathleen says, yes, inspiring. Exactly. Right. That's what I always say, that it's not just, me or the books through which the wisdom is arising. It is just a space that is open where the wisdom can drop. It can drop from you guys, what you share. It can even, come up for you as to you are in the space and something else is happening in your world. And you notice that, you hear that, and it really like click for you. So, yeah, just being open. Um, yeah, I know, Patrick. Choosing them is sometimes really difficult. But yeah, that's why it's a practice. And sometimes it is difficult. And on those difficult times when we choose, it is just that leads to like an even bigger transformation. So, yeah, keep going and give yourself the grace, give yourself kindness for those times when you haven't, when you can't. Kathleen say, oh, okay, I missed one comment. Hello, Cassandra. Good morning and welcome. You are again just in time for our last reading, which I will do after reading Kathleen's comment. So, Kathleen. Kathleen says, I'm getting my seed starting station set up today. I will think of your analogy as I do. Thank you, Patrick. Wow, that was okay. It just um how do I say it? It just made my body tinkle. I don't know, like this tingling sensation came up when I read your comment, Kathleen, to just imagine you doing this, like, bringing that imagery not just in mind, but to life in your actions. And as you sow each seed, imagining that you are sowing a beautiful, positive quality, a dream, whatever it is that you want to sow into that soil. Wow, that is just wow. I wish I would have read that comment like just 2 days ago when I planted my seeds, on my terrace garden. So, but I'm happy for you, Kathleen, that you got to receive this beautiful idea and you got to share this with us. Um, yeah, isn't it, Patrick? It's awesome. Okay. Jennifer says, "Mhm. This seems very serendipitous to remind us that we should be germinating our seeds and germinating them and kindness and germination. And our ecosystems, the more we plant, the more we grow a positive life and light. Yeah, it is amazing. Um, and Chris shares that I am also 8 months into the very same state of surrendering and allowing, and it has been the most blissful 8 months of my entire 47 years of life experience and this particular human incarnation of my soul. Wow, Chris, we all are so proud of you. And thank you for sharing how this practice has impacted your life. Like it brings up, some real hope for people who are reading this, listening this, to know that these 8 months have, turned out to be so beautiful for you. And we all wish you like many more months, as you continue this practice. Okay, so, my dear ones, now let us do the last reading for today because we are nearing the end. So, again, bring to your mind anything that you need guidance on. Okay, so the book that came for all of us is Think Straight by Darius Forox. So, I think this book came up yesterday, like, yeah, yesterday as well. But let's see what this book wants to deliver us today. So, this is our book. And give me a second to choose some numbers. So, my dear ones, I invite you to pick a number between 29 to 81. Again, I will choose a number based on my intuition. So there is no need to rush. Share the number that comes up first for you in the comments. Thank you, Cassandra. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Stephanie. Anyone else who would like to share a number? Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Chris. And Chris has shared a download that he received in a silent meditation yesterday, and that is throughout our soul's human experience, we spend so much time focused on changing the landscape of our experience when we should be focused on changing our view of it. Wow, that is so lovely. It just reminded me of a movie that I recently watched. I don't remember the name of it, but it was like the hero or protagonist take a group of people in the middle of traffic on New York Road, and it was a lot of horns and shouting and all of that stuff going on, like a lot of chaos going on. And then what the protagonist did was, he brought that group next to the top of a very high building, of the same building below which they were standing before. And when they watched from that, point of view, it was like so beautiful, like all these amazing big, large buildings, and like this beautiful, I think, sunset or something. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, it was like the same place, but a different perspective. And I was like, what a beautiful way to put it. And the same feeling here. What a beautiful way, Chris, to put it. Thank you for sharing this message that arrived for you with all of us here. Okay. Yeah, we were doing numbers. Okay. So thank you, Cynthia, Nicole, Patrick, for sharing the numbers. Now let me go through these and pick one for our last reading for today. Okay. So the number that I'm feeling most called to is 70, and the number has been chosen by Jay for all of us. Thank you, dear Jay. Let's see what is on page number 70. So, Jay is celebrating. So, Jay, the message is, and for everyone who are here, the message is don't live with regrets. Don't live with regrets. So, the author says that the most important lesson that I have learned was that you don't regret what you did in life. You regret what you didn't do. Again, you don't regret what you did in your life. You regret what you didn't do. Yeah, for some reason I feel complete. Like that is what wanted to come out from this page. So, reflect, is there anything that you haven't done that you always wanted to do? And what might be the next, a small way in which you can do it right now in your life? so that when you are, closer to the end of this life, you don't regret not doing it. And also reminds us how, you know, the fear of failing, or sometimes the fear of success also, stops us from taking a chance from doing that thing, because we think that I'm not enough, I can't handle it, I don't have the capability, the skills, and all of that. But we need to remember that if you did that thing and if you even failed, you won't regret it, because you get to experience it, and you get to, and in the process you would be transformed, because that's why that desire appeared in your heart for the first time, because it wanted you to become something, you to remember a part of you that was already here. And that was the thing, was only a way to discover that. And so, no matter the result, the outcome, go for it, because you won't regret doing it. You would regret not doing it. So, that's the message. Nicole says, beautiful perspective. I'm glad it resonated, Nicole. And Jay, feel free to share if this resonated with you at all. If there is something in your life that you have been wanting to do, but you haven't been able to, that you have been, that you have kept on postponing. And anyone else also feel free to share what is coming up for you. Everyone is welcome. Cassandra says yes, no regrets. Love it. Chris says, I try to do 3 to 20 minutes silent meditation a day, but sometimes in I only get two in with my schedule. I thought that the other message from you was related, so I was reading for more. But yeah, what I read is enough. So exactly. That is what our practice is, that we do not need to do a full version of it. We just need to show up to our practice, to our intentions, to our dreams, to our desires. We need to show up for them, for ourselves, and do it in whatever way is possible for us right now. It can be 2 minutes, it can be, just 5 seconds. That's it. Just showing up is enough, no matter how long, no matter doing the big thing, because sometimes that can be very overwhelming, and that is the thing that is stopping us. So, starting small or doing small is the way to go. Jennifer says that line from Auntie Mame, life is a banquet and most poor souls are starving. Yeah, it just uh okay, there is a sensation and I find it hard to describe, but yeah, it just did something in me reading that line. Thank you, Jennifer, for sharing that. I feel out of words sometimes. Our bodies express in such ways that we find it hard to, convey it. But yeah, okay, continuing reading Jennifer's comment. I realized I was starving myself, sitting in grief instead of living. I am done with that. Life is the banquet, and I am choosing to show up and participate. Wow, the energy behind your comment. Wow, love it. Jennifer says, lol, it's only my sixth reminder. Yeah, and maybe you're not able to, follow all of these things, but even if you follow one thing in even 1% at in a particular situation, that is enough. So have all these reminders. We don't know which one we would need at what moment, right? Chris says source collaborates with our free will when we actively surrender to and participate in universe divine plan. Yeah, that is so beautiful. Exactly. Um, Jay says, thank you. It resonated a lot in relation to my painting. I have some fear around pursuing it, but this is the year. Love it, Jay. Love it, love it. Wow. I hope that this brought something to my mind that I recently saw on some social media, which was the things we create. Nahi, okay, no. It was something like the things we create do something to us. So like the in the process of creation, something happens within us as well. So I just wish that doing this brings you so much happiness, Jay. And when you create it, all the fears, all those layers of fears, begins to shed one by one, and you see the beautiful being that you are through this process. That is my intention, my wish for you. So, yeah, thank you, and all the best with painting. And this is the year. Get started. Even if you draw, like a little flower today, even if you doodle it, even if you just paint a little flower, whatever your medium is, but start, in whatever way that it is coming for you right now, it is manageable for you. Okay. Karen says the small actions and steps count, slow and steady with the camel. Exactly. I love the camel, tortoise, snail because they remind me that what's important is moving no matter the pace. And that is a message, that is a lesson, that is a reminder that I had to learn again and again in my life because I'm a person who does things at a slower pace. And, I have not kind of liked myself for it. I've tried to change it, but then I learned to accept it and embrace it and be okay with it. And now, yeah, I like doing things at slow pace. It has its own advantages that, those things, those tasks becomes my own beautiful practice. So yeah, slow and steady wins the race. Um, and there is no race, by the way, just like the saying. Okay, Patrick says, my last journal entry was about regret, and the more I thought about it, what kept reoccurring was that we all made mistakes in the past, but it was those. Yeah, I missed it. Mm, where was I? Yeah, it was those mistakes that helped to make us who we are today. And those things that we want to do that we haven't done yet doesn't mean it will never happen. It means that we have to choose it. Exactly. All it takes is choosing it in whatever manner is possible for us. And they are going to happen. It's just all that needs to change is for us to choose it. And then we don't need anything else around it. It would, the things would align, things would happen. All you need to do is take a step towards it, and then you will set the momentum into the universe. So, yeah, Patrick, thank you for sharing that. I loved it. And I'm glad that, it is like it really resonated, this reading resonated with your last journal entry. Uh, Cassandra says we think we have time, but we don't. Every day is a blessing. Feel the fear and do it anyway. That is the best approach for you. But feel it and do it anyway. I love that, because when we avoid it, there's something known as avoidance cycle in psychology. So it especially happens with people who have anxiety. So they, when something approaches, they are like, I will avoid it. And when you avoid it, your brain, learns that it is not safe to do that. And the next time when you face a similar situation, that anxiety level increases even more. So it becomes even harder to approach it. So that's why it's important to face it. And it is not always easy, believe me when I say it. It has been uh like it has been a lot of struggle for me as well because I have struggled with anxiety a lot. But that is the only way. The only way, the only way out is through it. So yeah, we need to go through that messy stuff. Jennifer says, creation changes the creator. That's the hidden physics of making things. When you paint, write, teach, garden, build, the external products matters, sure, but the deep inner shift happens. But the deeper shift happens inside your nervous system, your identity, your sense of agency. Neuroscience calls it neuroplasticity, the rewiring itself through experience. Mystics call it transformation. Same phenomena, different vocabulary. Jennifer, you should write a book. I don't know if you have written one, but you should definitely write one. The way you put things is just be out of words. But you have like so many wonderful words in that. It's love the way you express things, really. And yeah, everything you wrote, definitely true. The process is as important and sometimes even more important than the destination because that destination is not what is fulfilling. It's about the process. It's about who you become in the process. Kathleen says so many takeaways today. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, right, Kathleen. So many. Maybe because there are so many, I invite you guys to to take one of these nuggets that came up and apply it to your life. Otherwise, you will forget and you just would have a nice time here, which is okay, which is okay. But if you want to change your life, you need to take some steps. So apply any one nugget from this life that you gained. Um, let's see. Chris says that went like this. The soul has an unquenchable thirst that can only be quenched by reunion with its creator. So true. So true. We just keep on filling that void with things, but what fulfills it is something else. Leslie says, quiet, simple evolution of self. Lovely way to put it. Exactly. Yeah, right, Karen. Jennifer definitely has a way with her words. So thought provoking. um Oh, okay. I love Jennifer. I think in the last session we talked about holding you accountable for the intentions that you have about writing poetry and a lot of other stuff that you mentioned. And now she's setting another account, using the space to set another accountability for booking a one-on-one session with me. I would be honored to offer you that one on one coaching session, dear. Really. I don't know what I can offer, but there might be something. We never know. So yeah, let's looking forward to that. Kayla says, and before that, I just remembered Jennifer, like 1 year ago, this was the exact same time, like this Valentine week. This was the same time when I began offering, um, like I cannot say it on the live, but yeah, I began like offering a gift to women, which is around this one-on-one thing. And now it has been 1 year, and I think around 25 women have been impacted in the past 1 year because of that. So I just feel so happy to remember this right now in this moment with all of you guys who made all of this possible by giving me all this love, and encouragement and everything. So thank you for, you know, everything that you guys have given me through this space. You guys are so, so amazing, really. Kayla says, this itself was transformational. I'm so happy that you're feeling the transformation. Jennifer says, it's so funny because I was told I couldn't write when I was younger and even in college. So to hear that is immensely and deeply moving. Wow. Another thing that we see, right? That we are told certain things and we assume them to be true. Of course, when we were a child, we learned from the people around us, but we don't realize that what we have been carrying have been unhelpful and not even true. Jennifer, like it's not just me, it's everyone here who has shared here, who believes that, who feel that you the way you express yourself with words is just beautiful. It just evokes something in the person who is reading it. So definitely a book, a blog, whatever it is, go for it and just give your gift into the world. Okay, I just read the next comment. Leslie says, go for it, Jennifer. You have a gift. Exactly. Okay, I swear I didn't read that comment, but the universe is communicating to you, Jennifer. Go for it. You do have a gift, and the world deserves it, and you deserve to receive that love from it. Chris says, Jennifer Anisha, collective wisdom could be possible. Title of said forthcoming book. Yeah. Thank you, Chris, for sharing that. And I think I missed a comment. Yeah, Kayla says, my heart is spilling over. I can feel it. Ah, I can feel it. Really, mine too. Kayla says, thank you for being you. Thank you for being you. Jennifer says, Anisha, I know that you will achieve all of your goals and the people you touch will forever be changed. I feel this is the truth. That is so, so kind, really. And I do hope so. I hope that. Today I feel like I'm not able to come up with the words, and there are all these feelings and sensations in my body. And I hope that you guys can feel that with me. Okay. Jennifer says, "You all just healed the little child in me. I didn't believe I could do it." A hug to the little Jennifer. Mm, mm. And to all of you. Okay, group hug. I'm lucky to have each and every one of you. Okay, okay, we are way past the time. Ah, Jennifer says, "I wish for a world that everyone feels this love and supported whenever they need it. I'm grateful." That is my wish, Jennifer. That is my wish too, really. That is one of the reasons behind creating whatever I create, that is so it's beautiful to, read that from you as well. Ah, Nick says, "This is my first visit here." Hello, Nick. Welcome. And Nick says, "And upon connection, the love in this room is palpable." Oh, yeah, it is. Like, it's just, this space is just so full of love because of you all. So, yeah, thank you, Nick, for being here, you know, and I hope to see you again in another, live in the same space, held in this love. Ah, thank you so much, Karen and Kathleen, for these kind donations. Really, your contribution is what has allowed me to keep this going, to, sustain this, to sustain everything that I create. Thank you so, so much for your support and for believing in me, in the work that I do. Thank you. May the love, kindness, and abundance that you're sending my way comes back to you in a way that surprises you in a pleasant manner. So thank you. Jennifer, Jennifer says, "Make donations via Tree so she can keep all the money." Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, yeah, so if you use an Apple device, the 30% of the donation goes to Apple and not to the teachers. So, yeah, so most of the teachers, what they have done is they have included like this donation link in the link in their profile. So, yeah, okay, let me show that. And I also wanted to, yeah, so it's like the name of the the platform kind of, and I think we cannot name the full platform here, so that's why Jennifer is using the short form. But Karen, what she is referring to is this: when you go to like the teacher's profile and you go to the about section and you scroll down, here what you see here, this is what Jennifer is referring to, and here you will find a way to, you know, to make a donation if you don't want to give Apple 30%. Or you will also find from me, you will also find a recording of this live and all the previous lives in this Wheel of Wisdom series. And this one was 176th episode. So yeah, and you will also find some offering, all of my offerings here, and some free gifts from me as well. So, yeah, don't forget to check this out. Okay. Okay, I'm glad that, so thank you. So let's thank Jennifer for, sharing a new thing with all of us. Apart from all the wisdom, she is now also helping us with the technical stuff. So yeah, thank you, Jennifer. And Satnam, Jennifer, thank you. And you too are a gem. Okay. Like this image came up when I said you two are a gem. Like this coal turning into gem, the coal that you thought you were, like in terms of writing. And now you know you are a gem that is waiting to shine upon this world. Okay. So, my dear ones, now it is really time to end this live. We have been together for the past 1 hour, 40 minutes. So, if you guys enjoyed this live, I invite you guys to join me again in the next one, which is at the same time, and also to check out all of my offerings in the about section of my profile, my teacher profile. So that's it for this live. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing your love, your thoughts, your wisdom, and I bow down to the divine within you all. Namaste. May you all be safe. May you all be healthy. May you all be happy. May you all find ease. Okay, guys. Bye bye. See you on 16th. Bye. Take care. Love you all. Chris says, Anisha, you are an amazingly beautiful soul. Thank you. You're welcome, Chris, and so are you. Bye, loves. Take care.